and welcome to Seder Soul Sailing. It's been a fun day so far. uh, yeah, so Trump has said that annexing Greenland, that the U.S. taking over Greenland, is a strategic necessity, and says it will be done by within 3 months. So the first quarter of 2026. So Um, Frederickson, the Prime Minister of Denmark, was apoplectic, as was the entire EU. And they realize there's not jack shit they can do about this. There's not, I mean, there's a military in Greenland right now. It's the U.S. military. The U.S. has the military presence on Greenland. Um, And so annexing Greenland basically means sending out a few corporals with some flags to plant on the tallest glaciers, and there you go. It's uh, is no longer Danish territory. Um, and so, so what's the EU going to do? Uh, Send the few remaining blue helmets that they have left after the U.S. pulled out of NATO and send them to Mar-a-Lago and see if they can do to Trump and Melania or whatever her name is. No offense, I just don't pay that much attention to that sort of thing. I don't mean to insult her, but I think her name's Melania or Meloni is the prime minister of Italy and Melania is Trump's wife. So anyway, what I'm saying is that what are they going to do about this? Go into Mar-a-Lago with the like 12 blue hats they have left, the blue helmets they have left in the UN fighting force, and pull a raid and haul Trump to, I don't know, Sicily maybe? I don't know. To Brussels? I don't see that happening, to be honest with you. I'm gonna guess that the blue helmets, it wouldn't end well for them. It wouldn't be quite the successful operation that the U.S. pulled off in Caracas on Saturday morning. So anyway, yeah, it's so the EU is just fucked. Basically, Trump told the EU to you know, um, the they're worried, they're threatening them that annexing Greenland would remove the fig leaf of civility from the U.S. actions. Well, I think that fig leaf blew away, and the U.S. is swinging dick is waving in the wind for pretty much everybody to see. So I don't think after Saturday the fig leaf was in place, uh, and I think last Saturday in Caracas they pretty much proved that. I mean, taking Greenland's nothing compared to going and kidnap. I mean, let's be honest. He kidnapped the president of Venezuela. He is a shitbird, no doubt. But um, but that was quite the political statement. Like I said, seriously, I don't mean to just be crude to be crude. That was serious swinging dick kind of behavior, for better or worse. And we'll be dealing with the worst part of it for sure. I guarantee you that. But as far as getting rid of Maduro and taking Greenland, you know, sorry Denmark, but we'll wait for your strongly worded response from Frederickson. Um, so yeah, it's going to happen. Um, and we really do have some serious problems coming up because the rule of law has pretty much been thrown out the window, and we could devolve into like serious tyranny. I mean, this could be really dangerous. Nope. Uh, yeah, yeah, nope. Yeah, that's a big nope. That's to Trump taking Greenland. Good luck with that. I bet you Maduro said even harsher words than nope. and but anyway, yeah, yeah, we're going to have to deal with some serious confrontation of dangerous um, rule. I mean, the I'm a big fan of the Constitution, and the Constitution seems to be a quaint artifact right now. So yeah, this is not. We've got some problems coming up, but as far as taking Greenland, I don't. That's not one of them. That's not going to be one of our problems coming up. That's a problem for the von der Leyen dining club in Brussels. But it's so. Yeah, so we'll deal that when we have to, and I guarantee you we're going to have to deal with that. I guarantee you that even if Trump is a good guy and he's going to not use this power he's claiming for himself in a bad way, uh, somebody else will. It might be J.D. Vance or who knows, whatever Democrat they install in the office next time. But whatever, we got this is serious. I don't mean to make light of it or joke about it. Hi. Then why are you for Trump? Because you know what? I'm gonna have to address this one. This is Noonie Business 33. Yeah, I'm gonna have to address this one because you have to grow up, Noonie, because this binary thinking, you know, I don't. You can be mind binary with your genitals. That's your business. I support whatever you choose, but when it comes to politics in the world situation, these children, these fucking children who see everything as either or, like either you're for Trump or you're against Trump, or you're either for the Democrats or for the Republicans. You're for the right, for the left, for the goddamn whichever. You know what? Grow the fuck up. Grow the fuck up. You can support. Nobody is no. If you assign your personal sovereignty to some political party, so I am a Republican, I am a Democrat, you're a fucking twat, useless fucking twat, because they don't represent you. They represent whichever banking organization is financing them. And in this case, in what's going on in Greenland, this is actually a good thing for the United States. It sucks for EU and Denmark, but Jesus, the EU is acting like a bunch of goddamn buffoons. So fuck them. So in this particular case, when it comes to Greenland, yeah, take it. Fuck, go plant a flag on the highest goddamn glacier in Greenland. Um, uh, it's but if you think if you're such a little if you think that it's either if you're not opposing Trump on this and you're like a Trump acolyte or whatever, or if you're a Democrat, if you oppose this that he's doing or whatever, then your brain isn't a fucking functioning organ for processing abstract thought. It's a simple fucking on and off switch. So you know what? Just turn it off because you're useless if that's how you think, if that's how you see the world. But the rest of you, you know what? If you're offended by that, give a thumbs down. Let's see what happens. But otherwise, give it a thumbs up. If your brain is a complex organ capable of processing abstract thought and not just a simple on-off switch, give me a thumbs up. Come on. So anyway, this is interesting because, like I said, we really are going to have to deal with totalitarian governments all over the world. They're dealing with that right now in the EU with that goddamn anti-democratic freaking European Union Council bullshit in Brussels. But we're going to have to deal with that whether it's from Trump or from Vance or from, I don't know, what's that fucktard from California, that governor shitbird. Whatever piece of shit the Democrats put in office next time. It doesn't really matter. Maybe it'll be Tampon Tim from Minnesota. Anyway, he was. I didn't vote for that fucker. I lived in Minnesota when that son of a bitch got elected. And he was shit. He was the worst governor we ever had. Um, Still is apparently, but I haven't been there for like 5 or 6 years. So um, anyway, let's see what the cards have to say about this whole. Okay, that I was building up to something here. Oh, I went off for a moment there. Sorry. Yeah, I love Alan Moore. He's into chaos magic. I'm not saying get into this stuff. This is very dangerous business. This. Um, you better have a pretty good handle on natural law if you're going to be practicing any kind of serious magic. Which, so be very careful. But Alan Moore's cool. Um, Hey, thank you for that. That's look like the Watchmen author Alan Moore. Well, thank you. I'll take that even if you don't give me a thumbs up. So, like I said, I was getting to this. So, I don't. I really am concerned about the degradation of the Bill of Rights is a pretty great document. I mean, it's a flawed document. The Constitution's a flawed document, but it's kind of the best one that we got anywhere in the world right now. So I hate to see it be gutted. And, maybe we have to rebuild it from scratch after all this is done. But that said, I'm really enjoying Trump basically waving his dick at the fucking EU and telling them to go fuck themselves. It's more power to them. Okay, let's see what the cards have to say about what's going to happen with the Greenland situation. The Greenland situation. It was this whole goddamn thing is like it'd make a great Quentin Tarantino film, wouldn't it? Um, yeah. I wonder what kind of an ending he'd write for it. I mean, I gotta say, I love Inglorious Bastards. Right from when the Jew Bear, helps the Nazis die for their country with a baseball bat, to burning up Hitler in the in the theater. I love that film. I also love the one where they kind of torched the Manson clan in Leonardo DiCaprio's swimming pool. That was Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Um, so let's see what the cards have to say about this. Great movie. Yeah, I love that movie. Who knew the credit card was so knowledgeable? The cardboard was so knowledgeable that it could predict the future. Who knows? Who knows? I guess it depends on who's welding the cardboard, eh? um, it's I had a. You know how much most of this shit. It's not Nostradamus. It's not cards. It's just fucking math. I mean, Jesus. If they actually taught math at the WEF Young Leadership Forum or whatever, where everybody in the Ursula's Dining Club learned how to be leaders, learned how to govern countries. If they taught basic math, maybe things wouldn't be quite so fucked up right now, huh? Yeah, basic math is your friend. You know what? You can lie like a motherfucker you can use math and statistics to lie. What was it Mark Twain said? There's lies, there's damn lies, and then there's statistics. But the raw math itself, you don't let somebody else interpret it for you. You don't let somebody else crunch the numbers for you. You look at it yourself, and then you can that's when you find out what's really going on. I was into Magic the Gathering as a kid. My mother threw them all away when I went to college. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. The Yeah, actually, I should be working on. I'm doing an essay for a book. It's a book by this international authors organization. Should be coming out next fall, I think, if I finish the essay. But it's about anyway. It's about magic, and it's about manifestation and using real magic. And I'm hesitant to write it because it's serious shit, and it's so important to follow natural law. Okay. Oh, I got a cut. Oh, I did cut, yeah. So here is the signifier. The Knight of Cups. That's a good sign. So, oh, but here's the overall situation. The moon. So, the whole world is doing some serious shadow work right now. Math, you guys ain't even figured out who really pays Donald's tariffs yet. Jesus Christ. The fucking tariffs are a joke. Come on. You really want to know what's going on? Look at the goddamn Japanese yen carry trade. Look at the interest rate of over the last 6 months of the 10-year Japanese bond, which used to be zero, which was there all the free money to fund Ursula's dining club, and the U.S. government too was coming from. And then look at the silver market. What's going on in the silver market? And then you know what? Then talk to me about math. Sounds interesting. My cards would have been worth thousands. They were alpha. Oh, cool. Black Lotus. So here is the. Oh, this is interesting. The gateway is the lovers. And that's a divine union. That's This is interesting because you know who's really working together on this is Russia and the United States on controlling the Arctic right now. And China's getting in on it too. You notice that China and Russia haven't said boo about what Trump did in Venezuela? I think it's probably because they're saying, oh, it's going to give them, give them less explaining to do when they do the same shit in Taiwan and Kiev. But I really see something shaping up as a kind of a new, the unipolar world being like Russia, China, and the United States, and Europe's just going to be like a vassal state. So here's the root card is the Page of Swords. So it's an impetuous action. Yeah, I guess. I mean, seriously, like annexing Greenland from Denmark, just taking Greenland from Denmark is a pretty impetuous action, I would say. And here is the present moment, and that is a something's happening, and we don't know what. We can't exactly see what just yet. You have condemned OT, but us media won't report it. The have condemned DT, but U.S. media won't report it. I don't. Jesus, I used to work in U.S. media. I'd know better than to listen to that bullshit. Tell you what, if you read in any, I don't care if it's a BBC or a goddamn, any corporate, any organ, a public radio, or it doesn't matter if it's Fox, CNN, or MSNBC. It's if it says in any corporate media organ, it says that a fireman rescued a cat, smart money bets that the cat is dead and was shot by a frightened police officer. I mean, don't believe a word of that. So, my 401k doubled, but thank you, Donald Trump. Yeah, good luck with that. I would get the fuck out of your 401k and put it, if you can possibly get physical silver or gold right now, I'd do that. Barring that, I'd put it into like land or something, because paper ain't gonna be worth shit very soon. use that money. Take and convert that into real property, and do good. I make it work for you. So here's the psychological future, and this is conflict. This is like no shit. This is yeah, I would say that's a pretty good. And here is the future, and that is venturing into the unknown. And here is the fears. So the fears, the root card is the page of swords, and the fears is the page of cups. They kind of play off each other, because mostly what we fear is the past, not the present or the future. We're mostly fighting yesterday's wars, right? And we fear that we might have given up, we might have sold our souls, perhaps. And here is the astrological energies, and that's like a happy family card. Here's our desires. Our desires are to break free from a cage, but the only way we can do that is realize that we're on our own prison wardens. And here's the final outcome: justice. So yeah, I mean, that's interesting. You know, I usually like to think about the people in a place like that, but there's not a hell of a lot of people living in Greenland. I mean, the native population is probably half the size of the smallest U.S. base there. Um, so this modifies fears. This modifies the astrological energies. This modifies the desires, and this is telling me that if we need to start some sort of process if we're going to break free from our own chains that we keep ourselves bound with. And here is modifying the final outcome. So I think in this case, I think this will work out pretty well for people, judging by this reading. And I mean, getting rid of, putting a fork in Ursula and her pervert dining club crowd wouldn't be a bad thing for the people of Europe, because more and more they're starting to realize that this is not a democratic society they live in. And unfortunately, we're really, if the breakdown of the rule of law we're seeing in U.S. official behavior carries through to the people of the U.S., in which there's no reason it shouldn't. We're going to have to be fighting a battle ourselves to regain our own freedom. We got to. I would say that the one thing to learn from all this is, and this is where the justice final outcome comes in, because there are a variety of people behind this, some with good intentions, some with bad intentions, and who knows where they stand. There's probably a little bit of a mixture of both good and bad intentions in everybody involved. And the I would like to, actually, I've never thought this about a president in my whole life, but I kind of like to meet Trump just to see what he's like as a person, because he's fascinating character, no doubt about it. And he does things that are brilliant, and he does things that just seem batshit crazy. So I'd be like fascinated to meet the guy. Like I said, I never felt that way about a politician in my whole life. But in the end, I think we're on our own here. We're on our own. Ultimately, we need to own our personal sovereignty, and we were talking a little bit about magic in the comments, and yeah, he's a narcissist. If you ever met one, yeah, I actually had one squatting in my apartment for about 5 weeks. Just before it's what made me leave the United States on my boat. I had this woman who, a lovely young girl, but she was a covert narcissist, which is a very frightening thing. Yeah, I bet you most politicians I'm absolutely certain that probably Trump falls in. He'd be an overt narcissist, though. Coverts are scary. Um, but yeah, yeah, it's gonna things are gonna work out the way they're supposed to work out. But I think this modifying these two cards is the final outcome. The final outcome and the modifying card. I think that's telling us that we're going to have to go inside ourselves to find this energy we have available for our own homes, for our own families. And we're going to have to, you know what, this crying over spilt milk, maybe that's putting our assigning our personal sovereignty, abdicating it to outside forces like politicians and religious figures. And maybe we need to realize that our power is really inside of us. We need to turn around and quit crying about those cups that are spilled. And we need to turn around and realize what we still have. And, and, uh, and it's being offered to us right now, but we don't see it because we're still focused on here. You know, say this are political parties here, and the real answer is coming from outside the system. So, yeah, I think how this works out is going to largely depend on whether or how effective we are at shaking off these imaginary ties that we think bind us, and owning our personal sovereignty, becoming our own gods in the machine. Um, yeah. So I guess it's up to us. And that's justice, the final outcome. If we developed our strengths, and that's what this says, we need to put our ideas and our thoughts into actions. Um, and I how this ends up for each and every one of us, I think it's going to depend on what we put into it and what strengths we develop in our own selves, and how much we rely not just on ourselves but our communities, our loved ones, our families, the people we love. We're all in this together. Our communities are a part of us. And you know what? Those fuckheads in Brussels and Washington D.C. and the goddamn city hall, they're not us. They don't represent us. They represent whoever the hell it is that pays their bills. And look at the money they come out of this office with. I mean, what Bernie Sanders has like 8 houses. He's never had a real fucking job. Um, and they're all like that. It doesn't matter. I just picked Bernie because he presents himself as a socialist. I'm a real working man. He's never worked a goddamn day in his life, and he has like fucking 6 goddamn mansions. Say all of them. I mean, none of them. It's like they're not our saviors. We need to do this ourselves and with each other. We need to work together. People like you might be lunatics like me are useful in this situation, and the people that seem like they were crazy talking about this shit 2 or 3 years ago, or 5 or 6 years ago, now they start to make a little bit of sense, right? Um, yeah, we can do this. Let's get together. We should let's start our own dining club, right? Speaking of, I'm going to have I'm going to the marina, nearest marina here, and they've got meatloaf for dinner tonight, and it's actually, I hear, quite good. And so we're getting ready to go. That's why I'm wearing clothes today. Love you all, and thank you for all the likes and for watching. And I hope this was useful. And if sorry I picked on the person that said that the binary thinker, but really do not think like an on-off switch. I mean, there really is. Everything is shades of gray. There is no good and there is no bad. There's a little bit of good and a little bit of bad in just about everything. And there's a lot of bad in some things, and there's a lot of good in some things, and we just have to learn to go with the parts that are good, and and support each other when we are doing the right thing. When we're practicing natural law, where you own your personal sovereignty and you don't impose on the personal sovereignty of anybody else. When you're telling somebody else what to do, and I guess I did that to the person who I said had an on-off switch for a brain, and I apologize, and I appreciate the discussion. Sorry, I sincerely apologize for that. I hope love you all, and including the guy who said you're either for him or against him. It's like, no, that's not how it works. It's like, but I love you anyway. You all take care and have a good rest of the week, and I'll probably talk to you tomorrow.